All right, y'all. I'm back. All right. We're about to get into the love and the marriage of the Huntsville girl. All right, because I was running up and down the stairs. What do we want to start? Let's start here.
Water freshen up my drink.
That sound more like.
Yeah, I need some water.
So this conversation between Maurice and Melody. So I titled this video Messy Melody because Melody is literally going around being messy, girl. She is. She being messy. She going over to this one having conversations. She going over to this one having conversations. And then when it all brought down to it and you get to Kimmy, you don't have nothing to say. You don't want to talk to her about it. And guess what? I don't care. 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 Because I feel like everybody played in Mel's face. Everybody was culpable. And what I have found out is when people are in abusive relationships and the friends and the family decide they're going to be impartial, they're not really impartial because their impartiality is actually more so on the side of the abuser. It helps and aids the abuser because nobody is calling a thing a thing. Y'all just say they do it to each other. Oh, it's both of them. But we can clearly see him doing shit to her, stalking her, taking her to court, trying to take her kids away, cheating on her, having a baby on her. You know what I'm saying? Like we could see all of these instances of Martell, the revenge porn. Like Martell is doing shit to Melody. He won't leave Melody alone. And y'all know it. And then y'all act like it's not happening so that y'all can keep y'all own husband's bullshit from getting brought up because Martell will spray y'all when y'all are not on his side. So y'all absolutely sacrifice Melody in order to keep shit cool with Martell so that y'all husband's lives can be protected. That's everything that's been going on Love and Marriage Huntsville since the very beginning. So when we get to this season and Mel don't give a fuck about nobody's feelings, I'm going to have the conversations I want to have with the people I want to have them with. I want to be messy and talk to other people about how I think your husband cheating on you. Absolutely. And then when you ask me about it because you want me to provide you evidence that your husband is cheating, I'm not having that conversation with you because when did you ever come to me with the shit you knew? When did you ever come to me and tell me that he was sending that video around to everybody? When did you come to me and tell me that you knew he was cheating on me with a girl who you worked at the hospital with? When did you come and tell me any of that shit? Like, I'm putting it in perspective. Nobody told Mel anything, gave her a heads up, nothing. Nothing. They talked amongst each other and they kept her out of the loop on things. And so then she finds out and then finds out that y'all not really her friends because y'all knew and y'all didn't keep no girl code with her. Y'all didn't tell her shit. And it's still happening. Yeah, we could act like that was all at the beginning, but the revenge porn plot, y'all acted like that was nothing. Last season, when Mel was talking to everybody about it, y'all acted like it was nothing. When Martell was literally sending y'all videos and pictures, anything he was sending to Mel, he was low-key sending it to y'all. So y'all knew. Y'all had seen the shit. And you decide just now to say something. I really want to know whatever happened that Marceau has now decided to flip. Marceau is not stupid. He knew all of this shit was going on. And now you want to bring up the revenge porn and say that you don't have respect for Martell? I could see that, but I also want to know what prompted it because you knew about that shit before and you were protecting him. What did Martell do that made y'all change y'all mind? Or did y'all do it just because y'all trying to keep y'all check on this show and you couldn't keep doing it the way y'all had been doing it because the ratings were going down and people were actually annoyed with the fact that if y'all were not hyper focused on Mel and Martell, no tea is being spilled on a messy reality show. And we're on a messy reality show. Tisha seems to have a better grasp on what we're doing here this season. And Kimmy is now deciding to gaslight the shit out of everybody because you want to be delusional and then want everybody to be delusional with you. And then when they're not being delusional with you, you want to have an issue with them, basically with Mel. Like, girl, we're going to get into the specifics. But starting off with this conversation with Maurice about this DUI, Mel says whatever she was saying behind his back about it, she says it to his face.
Some interesting conversation. Speaking of interesting conversation, I've had some conversations with some people in this friend group regarding you and, you know, what took place with the DUI and all of that. I felt it was irresponsible. It was embarrassing and disappointing. And I felt like the response the day after could have been more appropriate versus it seemed like it was right back partying. Hey, bottles back up again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and that to me is a valid point when you think about the way Maurice likes to give Maurice likes to give long ass speeches and act like he, you know, is above everybody. And he knows how to act, and he has decorum, and he has integrity and self-respect. Think about all of the conversations when he's talking to his son, when he's talking to Monster, talking all that bullshit. And y'all know how he actually acts in his real life. You all on your son because he's not doing every little thing, but you don't get on him. Well, before you weren't getting on him about helping around the house. So it's not like you were teaching him responsibility, and you don't actually help around the house like that. So you're not showing him how to actually be a responsible man in a household. You're just showing him how to find some woman to rely on.
You have in this friend circle from the beginning always come off as the one who is the most level-headed, you know what I'm saying, the most intelligent.
One who makes decisions and forms his opinion based off of information that he actually knows.
That was passive aggressive. That was passive aggressive. So now we can already tell you're getting, this is defensive right now. He's upset because yeah, you're trying to keep it calm and all of that. But essentially you don't like the fact that she's calling you out, that you are being a contradiction to how you present yourself to be. And because you don't like that, now you want to try to flip it and make it seem like, oh, well, you don't know what you think you know. You're coming to me speaking on something you don't know. Nigga, you got a DUI. You got a DUI and you got on the internet right after and was drinking and laughing like it wasn't a big deal. Your response was immature. Your response was immature. The way you showed up at the house with Kimmy, and Kimmy got to keep her calm like a parent talking to a sullen teenager. Yeah, you're immature, my nigga. For you to actually try to act like we're going to argue about whether it happened the way it happened, you got a DUI. Just because you got out of it, because you found a way to find a legal loophole like everybody else do to get out of DUI. Sorry, Karen. Okay. But you were trying to use a legal loophole. Karen, she was trying to, talking about that Miranda right shit. It didn't work for her. With Maurice and like a lot of other people, if they can find a loophole, they can get out of a DUI. As simple as the cop not showing up, getting the test, the breathalyzer test thrown out. Because the police department is not up to code and they're not using the new shit, whatever the new, detectors are, you're not using it. But he still got a DUI. He was still drunk driving because you had not been home that whole night. And your wife told us that on the television show. You got arrested at noon in the afternoon with the same clothes on you had on the previous day. You got out of jail and went back to a bar. Are y'all okay?
However, for me too, it's a personal feeling for me because I lost my grandmother to a drunk driver.
Hey, let me stop you there. Do you know anything about what actually happened that day?
The report, unless the report from the police is false.
Okay. What?
Did you catch that? Because he was gonna try to back her into a corner, and is the police report false? Is that what you're saying?
Tell me what information you want.
And now you flip it again, and that's the thing. And you could tell by the way he bugging his eyes out of his head. You could tell the way he is bugging his eyes out of his head that this is the moment where he think he got her.
Why don't you tell me you were
No,
there?
tell me what information you know.
Why don't you tell me you were
I was the only one there. That's why I know you don't know any information.
There was.
So how I can have information is the police report. Ain't nothing like a stupid ass nigga that's gonna try to argue the color of the sky with you so that they don't have to be held accountable for bad behavior.
Wasn't an officer there?
Oh, he wasn't there.
So how can an officer do
that? You know that he doesn't know what happened.
I'm sorry, one second.
What do you mean the officer didn't know what happened either? Didn't you get arrested? Didn't you get a police officer had to be there because you didn't magically get arrested without someone being there, Maurice? What are you talking about?
Your tone right now is very
aggressive. His tone is aggressive. It's aggressive.
Very becoming very defensive.
No, you know what you did? You started this conversation and you told me everything that you think that you know about.
No, she told you what she felt about what she saw, which is your DUI. You keep trying to argue whether the DUI is admissible. This is not court. You got a DUI.
The evidence of what happened. You weren't there. I think that Melody is speaking about things that she doesn't know anything about. However, in this moment, the good thing I'm finding out is that Mel is also, among all the things that she does, she's also omnipresent and omniscient.
Did you mean omnipotent? Did you mean omnipotent? So you're basically trying to act as if she's deifying herself and acting as if she's all-knowing because she is holding you to task about a DUI that's public knowledge? You see the gaslighting that's happening here?
And if she keeps working, she's going to wind up being a deity.
No, for a fact you got arrested for DUI.
There we go.
And all I said to you was straight up, based on that, you being arrested, period, for a DUI, I would have liked to have the next day, you being who you are, had given a different response.
So she literally is explaining this again.
What's my response?
He's being sarcastic. Well, what should my response be? Like, you don't really want to hear, because you know what your response should have been, Martin Luther the King.
Wish you had been like, hey, this could have cost me my life, like a whole, just, it could have been made something so much better.
This is the issue, though. I'm not going to let your opinion dictate my life.
But
it's not about an opinion dictating your life, stupid. Now, here's the thing. This is something that actually happened, right? She expresses how she feels about it. When she says shit to other people, like the Kimmy situation, right? Kimmy's like, oh, you're talking about it with other people, but you don't want to talk about it with me. Well, she wanted to talk about it with the person that it was about, Maurice. He doesn't have any remorse. He doesn't give a fuck.
I think it would have been nice to maybe held a little bit. I'm listening to your opinion over the years, right?
No, you haven't. I haven't shared my disappointments with you.
I've taken advice from you, right?
No.
Now you're just being a sullen child and just defying the situation. Like, you're acting as if you've never given anybody advice and you always give unwarranted advice that nobody asked for because you want to make it seem like you're smarter, when really it's obvious that even though you're the older brother, Marceau is smarter than you.
Yeah.
I don't take exception to her voicing her opinion. I don't want to interject to the point of causing a bigger problem.
Right.
However, we gonna keep it cute. While you express your opinion.
I'm saying what you're.
I don't think it's an issue with Mel keeping it cute. If anything, Mel knows how to do, and this is why y'all call her fake all the time. If there's anything Mel knows how to do, is to keep calm and keep a smile and that very Southern high tone of voice that makes everybody feel more comfortable. Men feel more comfortable. Southern women know this. They do that. We do this all the time. You raise your voice a few octaves higher, depending on who you're talking about, depending on if you're trying to, soften up the situation. So her saying, oh, we're going to keep it cute. I'm like, girl, it's not Mel that's not keeping it cute right now. It's Maurice, whose eyes are bugging out of his head. And he's trying to act as if he has control over himself, but he really doesn't, because he's not even arguing in a way that shows his intelligence or his integrity or his self-control. Somebody that was actually in control of themselves would have handled this situation differently. It would have been like, you know what, Mel, you're right. I could have handled that situation a little bit better than that, but it's because it's not what it looked like. He could have said that, but that's not what he did. He wanted to be accusatory because he was upset that she had the gall to express to him her disappointment. And then when she tries to tell him it's because it's personal for me, he disregards it. That was another thing. When she brings up her grandmother dying of a DUI, oh, that don't matter to you, right? That don't matter to you right now? Okay, got it.
You're doing is projecting.
I'm not projecting.
That's exactly what you just did.
No, how is it projection?
Projecting.
The lotus.
How is it projection? You got arrested.
Even as you said that your grandmother passed because of that,
Yeah.
you associated that with me.
And
that ain't just.
No, you got a DUI. My grandmother was killed by a person who was driving under the influence. What are you talking about?
Say, what you just did is you attacked my character to my face and behind my back. That's who you are.
I calmly.
That's who you are. I'm sorry. Attack your character. I don't think she was attacking your character. I think she was trying to hold you accountable. But to me, if I can say it behind your back and say it to your face, why are you acting like that's an issue? And that means that I'm not a good person because I can say whatever I got to say to you and to anybody else. That makes me a bad person, but you not giving a fuck about a DUI or how my grandmother died from a DUI. That makes you a good person?
We started this conversation sharing with you. Hey, I know
No, you
everybody
started
gonna
with
talk.
attacking me.
No, I said
That's
I know
absolutely
everybody's
what
talking.
you
I said, hey, you know I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna talk to you.
It wasn't an attack, but you feel attacked because you were wrong. And normally when people feel defensive about something they know they did wrong, they don't want anybody to make them feel worse about it. But also the only way for you to stop getting DUIs is for people to actually hold you accountable instead of hemming and hawing and making excuses for you like everybody does.
I know everybody's talking. So let me tell you.
Attacking you. I'm going to tell you. If I said behind your back, I said,
okay.
I'm going to tell everything.
Now you're being attacked,
This is what you said. Neil, you're attacking me.
I'm not. Get your husband. You know.
I'm glad she laughed at him. I'm glad she laughed at him because that's exactly what it required. It requires somebody to laugh at him and be like, I can't even have a grown ass conversation with you. You're a child. Have a good day. Have a good day. Have a good day. Somebody said, I love the way Maurice handled her. She really was wanting him to get disrespectful and out of character. Honestly, this is how y'all know y'all don't understand conversations. Like you could tell that y'all don't really understand conversations. Y'all are used to people either not saying anything at all or being confrontational when they say something. So if somebody sits down and actually expresses how they feel to you, it makes you feel uncomfortable. So you now want to say, oh, they attacked me. No, I'm keeping it a buck with you. I feel like I should be able to keep it a buck with you. Like, why I can't tell you how I feel about you? You could jump in on conversations with me and Marty. Why I can't jump in on conversations about you? What's the difference? He was absolutely disrespectful, and I don't care what anybody's talking about. His energy towards her was aggressive. All of that bugging his eyes out and trying to argue about whether it was you got a DUI, nigga. You got a DUI. You got a DUI. So another crazy nigga.
Can I come sit with y'all? I didn't drink that much, so I don't think I'm good. I came in a little emotional. That's why I want to start off. Like I said, I don't know, ladies. I didn't mean to. Let me reintroduce myself. Marquez. I'm the father, husband, whatever you want to call it. I don't want to be messy because I'm not a messy person, but I am emotional and I do want to be transparent. So you've been around long enough to know that Trish is not an easy person to deal with. How do you have a healthy co-parenting relationship with the person who triggers you or the people who trigger you?
You got to know what the triggers are. Maybe you just are the trigger.
I think the trigger is my raw emotion and the fact that we never communicated. Right now?
Okay, so let's talk about this right quick. So I think that Marquez is a lot like Martell in some respect. You're not dealing in reality because reality makes you feel shame and guilt. The fact that your son had to call you over and tell you to relax and stop like talking shit about his mom to every table you sit at because you feel ashamed at the fact that you have not been there for your kids. Your shame and your guilt about abandoning them and your selfishness is your load to bear. But you are spreading it around to everybody so that you can feel less guilty and feel less weight. That's what Marquez was doing this entire, this whole little graduation party is him trying to help himself not feel bad about being left out. I think he uses his emotions talking about, I'm emotional and I want to be transparent. He sounds like somebody that has learned how to weaponize therapy against people, the language of therapy. But you weaponize your emotions. You weaponize your emotions. You want to cry and make people feel bad for you, but essentially, it is you, son. It is you. Child, listen. They about to have their conversation, but they homeboys is all like, all right, we gonna stand around and just make sure this don't go nowhere. I want to know when Ken went and put some more body oil on his muscles, because I feel like he went and put body oil on his muscles right before they did this scene.
No, we ain't had that stuff. I ain't gonna lie, I don't like it. I don't really like us not being able to congregate in a manner to where not awkward, bro. You have the issue, you have the problem, right or wrong. I don't have a beef with you. I keep telling you that. I don't have no problem with you.
You good, bro. You got the kid, you got my dog, you got the house, you got the girl. So I know you're not thinking about
see, that's where you're
There's
wrong.
no hostility.
Hold on. That's where you're wrong, bro. Like I told you this last time we talked. I'm here to assist you.
We don't talk though.
Don't you want to know what's stopping us from getting to know each other? You, bro. These conversations, if they're not going to push us forward, bro, what we need to talk about? Because eventually I'm going to just get tired of damn talking. My job is to take care of this household, take care of them kids, take care of my kid, keep making sure I'm putting food in this damn house, making sure these bills get paid on time. Hey, I ain't going to lie, bro. There's nothing in this world that can keep me from my kids, bro.
For one, my question is, can you have kids? And even if you can't, when you come across people that have children, it's almost as if I feel you want to overcompensate, and it's not because it's about me, it's because you don't have your own biological children.
Okay, so peep this. I feel like there may have been some truth to him overcompensating with other people's children and doing the most. I think there's some truth to that, but I also feel like Ken is still overwhelmingly right in this situation, and Marquez is crazy. In my opinion.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. As a man, you have obligations and you have duties.
Yes.
You take care of them no matter what the situation.
How I was raised is when a man comes in someone's life, then they obviously have an initial conversation with the man who is the father of their children first.
Not if you're not around. If you're not around, I don't have to have a conversation with you at all. I think a lot of, and I find, I could be tripping, but I find this a lot. Men feel like it is always the mother's responsibility to make sure that their children don't see the truth of them. You could not show up. I'm supposed to tell my child lies to protect your image. It was the same shit with Martell and Mel. Like y'all, everybody wants Mel. Don't say that. It's the truth. It's the truth. But you don't want the truth to be said because it makes you look bad, and you don't want to look bad. It is what the fuck it is. If you don't want to look bad, be different.
You gotta be present though.
No, I think Marquez has a little bit of, I'm not gonna say hate. I would say maybe a little jealousy. I don't know if Marquez actually appreciates and understands the quality of man and the caliber of men that his kids are, allowed to have in their lives. It takes a strong-willed person, a disciplined person. It takes a devoted person to especially take care of another person's kids, So, yeah, for sure. I was definitely throwing that shot at Marquez.
When you're not present, you allow me, the outsider guy, to build a relationship with you not being there. And what happens with that is Zarya goes to school and talks about me and not you.
And calls you her daddy the day after Father's Day.
Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is that?
I feel like it's Trish's fault.
No, that's your fault, bro. You're not there.
It's actually, you know what? It's all our fault.
What I say about trying to spread around the guilt and the shame so you don't have to carry the load of what you've done.
Place to where you're trying to accommodate another person and they're not doing their jobs.
So I'm gonna just say this, because Trisha comes over eventually and he continues to gaslight Trisha. Like, even their conversation that happened later on, we can just go ahead and move on to that, because at the end of the day, I do feel like everybody was being messy. All the adults were like not holding their shit together for the sake of the kids, as far as I'm concerned. Like, Ken is using this as a moment to show that his dick is bigger than Marquez. Marquez is using this moment to try to, dissuade guilt that he feels from not showing up. And Trisha is trying to use this as a catchback moment because she's tired of what Marquez has put her through. And to be honest, I feel like a part of the reason why she doesn't know how to argue or have conversations is because of Marquez. I've noticed consistently, and Maurice did the same thing. Y'all will try to change reality. Y'all gaslight people, flip things on them. The things you've done, you act like they did it. All of that type of shit. And it really just turns it into a circular argument, which to me is emotionally and mentally abusive, to not have a straightforward conversation with somebody and keep trying to argue about something that basically you're lying. You're basically insinuating, like Maurice did, the DUI didn't happen. And you're trying to argue that point instead of having an honest conversation about what somebody is actually saying to you. You want to keep focusing on something that we shouldn't even really be arguing about. And it's a way to exhaust the person and make them feel like, you know what, never mind. It's a way to exhaust the person. And I feel like that's what a lot of these Mars, all of these niggas with MA names on this show, everybody with an MA name on this goddamn show knows how to have circular arguments where they argue about shit that has nothing to do with what we actually talking about, simply because they don't want to be held accountable.
He was avoiding him this entire day. But I still chose to come because he said we need to talk. And after the celebration, yes, the hell we do need to talk.
I thought the kids were gonna be here.
No, life is lifing for them.
What's going on? I just talked to them, alright.
So she's not feeling her best.
So then we had to give her some ice cream to go. You know, when we had that celebration. That was my first time being at the house with kind of like at y'all's establishment.
That's the first time we had a celebration there too. It was the first time they graduated there too. So of course it was the first time for all of us.
True, but it still was kind of uncomfortable for me.
I could tell.
It was uncomfortable for everybody.
I think a lot of
it was uncomfortable for the kids. It was uncomfortable for the guests.
Subsided, and more or less like now I kind of feel like y'all playing. Like I kind of been hearing stuff and seeing things. And
are you serious? We have never mentioned you until you mentioned us, and then you know me. I'm gonna be an
yeah.
You say something about me, I'm gonna be a whole bitch.
Y'all look. Y'all gonna have to stop talking about me and acting like I'm not a father. Hold on, relax.
You crazy as hell. You gotta stop talking about us. We don't wake up with you
talking about us. I know, neither do I.
Yes, dude, you know how many people that came and said, "Oh,
I don't care about what these people gotta say." Because
you gotta stop getting emotional and saying.
You triggering now. Understand now. Look, there's clarity. Now I get it. So you literally used to do this all the time.
Who cares about what used to happen? It's over with now.
He was trying to pull her into another circular argument. So now we're going to start arguing about the shit that happened in the relationship and it don't even matter. At the end of the day, he continues to flip shit on her throughout this entire conversation. And that's why she gets so frustrated. It's because he just keeps moving from the next thing to the next thing.
I don't care about what happened in the past.
But you should care because you not caring is affecting our children.
No.
So now her not caring is affecting the children, not him not caring and not showing up.
I do is show up.
Listen, first of all, I've always shown up, Trish.
Okay, no, you haven't. Dude, are you
okay? Tell me. So
he's already admitted that he hasn't been there for those kids in the past 2 years. So I don't know what he's talking about. He's already admitted that.
Okay, so why not talk to the kids over there?
I said show up.
Why are y'all playing as if I'm not a part of their life and I just left them and I've been gone for 6 years and he's been taking care of them?
No one said that.
Yes, if Ken wasn't in your life, do you think that our children's lifestyle would change? Absolutely not.
Because of me.
Because of us.
Because of me.
He is literally saying because of us, not because he has money, but because his parents have money. I think he is an absentee father and his father takes the responsibility. And this is why I tell y'all sometimes people who don't come from two-parent households really put a lot of weight on assuming just because a man is from a two-parent household, that means he's going to do what he's supposed to do. And it does not mean that all the time. It does not. There are a lot of men who are bums because they come from two-parent households where they were kind of doted on or everything was done for them. And because of that, as they enter adulthood, it's the same mentality. And to me, he sounds like somebody that depends on the father, on his family to take care of his kids for him. Therefore, it's him that makes it possible for them to be taken care of. When really, no, your parents help Trish, but you're not really there for the past 2 years.
Man, dude, are you serious? It's always been me.
It's always been you. Why?
Oh my God.
First of all, just
dude, you got amnesia. It's always been me. Even when you left.
And now he's telling her to calm down. He gaslighting the piss.
I still kept that flowing.
I still
kept the house flowing.
Them kids didn't miss a beat, and I wasn't gonna let
They
it
was
because
never
it's
gonna
me.
miss a
I'm
beat.
Rita's. It wasn't gonna happen
What
regardless.
does that mean? What
Are
does
you
that
serious?
mean?
Dude, you crazy as hell, dude. Don't come on now.
She rubbed me wrong too. Y'all, please don't get me wrong. In other conversations, I do not like Trish, but I'm just calling it how I see it in this conversation with this nigga. And I could see if she's been in a relationship dealing with this nigga since high school, he has helped shape the way she deals with other people.
Trish, you need counseling.
Trish, you need counseling. Do y'all hear this nigga?
I feel like I was a good husband.
You think you was a good husband? We've already heard he was not.
Well, if you feel that way,
I'm not sure if you were a good wife.
I'm not sure if you were a good wife.
Because I'm not sure you had the proper example.
I'm not sure you had the proper example. You see what I'm saying? Now you're throwing slugs at the family dynamic. What did I just say? A lot of these men that come from 2-parent households, if their parents still together, they use that as a tactic to make women feel like they're great, right? I know a lot of men like this. They come from a 2-parent household because, you know, I did too. So I went to school with a lot of dudes and then watched them grow up, even in my own family. They rely on the fact that their parents have kept their shit together. They rely on that, right? So they use that as a tool to make women who came up in 1-parent household, came from a single mother household, to make those women feel like they're great. They pedestalize these men. Oh, because look how your family be. Oh, I didn't have that in my family. My daddy wasn't never around. So it automatically puts them on a pedestal to these women. Like that's what they do every time. And that's why he's telling her that she didn't have the proper example, probably because she didn't grow up in the same type of household as him. He's always probably used that over her in some type of way.
You know what I'm saying?
You crazy as hell. You didn't have the proper example. Let's move on to the future. What are we gonna do for it be better for the kids? How are we gonna move forward for the kids? Who cares about us? Let's talk about their feelings. Let's do what's best for them.
I want to continue to come in here.
So I believe that over time he has like been around, but I also feel like it would probably exhaust me for him to be around because of the way he acts. It's almost as if he can't help it. Okay. Now let's get to this conversation between Letitia, Trisha, and Kimmy. They all look so beautiful in this scene. I do want to say that. Like everybody looked beautiful. You know, I love Kimmy's natural hair. I think Trisha's body is fucking sickening. And y'all know I got my little crush on Tisha. So yeah, everybody look cute, right? Everybody look cute.
Yeah. He showed up in rare form too.
He did.
He's chatty. He talks
When I tell you
a lot
he talks,
about his
he was
world.
going around trying to
He is an emotional vampire. Marquez is exhausting.
everybody his story.
So is he like an attention seeker though?
He is.
Okay.
He is, but he's also sensitive and he's emotional.
Dang, I should have been at this. Can we do a redo?
Barbecue 2.0.
Yeah,
they was working
That
They
was my
was working the
word.
nerve. They were definitely working the nerve.
I didn't want to say that part, but the feisty girl over here,
She came out.
she was saying Melody as well. She was like, I'm about to go down the road and just.
And look how excited they about to be about the fact that the new girl who possibly fucked Mel's husband when she was still married to him, who they've brought on the show. Look how excited they are that she threatened to slap Mel.
I did tell Melody her. I said it's about to be a domino effect.
She was like, yeah, she said, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you.
Because they were pissing me off.
I mean, you know, I ain't gonna feel the resentment. That's sexual. What you talking about?
Oh no,
No, hell no.
But you talked to Mel since the girls trip.
I have. She started asking questions that made me think, like, you say you don't care, but you do care. She was asking me to describe the house.
Describe her house.
Yeah, I'm like,
Why?
I know how many people are training
Why
homes.
she
So
has to
describe the house that you went to when you saw
Yeah,
her.
I said, yeah, it was a long ass roll.
She was trying to see if it was her house.
Which house did you go to?
Because
Because one of them you would definitely remember because it's about a 15 minute drive up.
no, it wasn't on the drive. Because I went to the deer. Or I went to the animal or something out there.
They
So
out
you
at
went at night.
nighttime.
So that doesn't give, I don't care.
It does not.
I don't know. Like, she didn't have all them questions in St. Thomas when we were talking about it. But you got a lot of questions now.
I know why, because y'all brought it up at the table because y'all wanted to embarrass her. And so she shut down as to not give y'all the opportunity to embarrass her with this Trisha and Martell shit that y'all were obviously asked to bring up. Okay. That's why. And then she waited to have a one-on-one with her as to not give y'all a moment to be feeding off of her responses and getting involved and jumping in like y'all know y'all like to do sometimes. Specifically, if it had been at that table, Destiny would have jumped in and had an opinion. It would have been fucking annoying. So I think that's why she decided to wait and have the conversation with Trisha so she could find out what's going on. She wanted to know if Martell was cheating with Trisha in her house. Yes. I think just to showcase that this nigga ain't shit, really, more so than the fact that I care, because I'm not about to get back with him. So if I care because I want to know, then fine, yeah, I care. But outside of that, so what? What does that mean? I'm not about to be back with him. Like we're not about to go back together because I want to hear from the horse's mouth what happened. Like me personally, I'm a nosy bitch. I like to know stuff. I just like to know. So that's why when Mel is asking all of these questions to find out what happened, regardless to the fact that it's over or not, I still want fucking know. I want to know. Did you have somebody in my house when I went out of town? I want to know which house it was. I don't care. I want to know. So I don't know why everybody's like, she cares. It's like, okay, she cares. What does that mean? Like, it don't mean that she ain't about to get back with Martell. So what are y'all like? What's the point of saying that?
So kind of sounds like you care. Kind of a little, you care.
Well, Mel was grilling me about the Maurice situation.
She grilling everybody, and I don't understand why.
Were you there whenever Maurice got arrested that day?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Why y'all let him drive?
I don't know. I don't know what happened there. Driving, I thought everybody was okay to drive.
Oh.
No one seemed that drunk to not drive. In my opinion.
In your opinion,
yeah.
Did y'all go to another club?
The look on Trisha's face tells me something else happened, and she's just not gonna say it. So I want y'all to understand something. Amongst this group of women are willing to lie to protect men at all times, right? So in this moment, when Mel was asking Trisha about what happened with Maurice, and she got this stupid fucking look on her face, like you basically telling me you know something else happened. So if they were all together at the bar and then they leave, that means the men decided they were going to leave and go somewhere together, and the women went home. That's what that meant to me. Okay. And Trisha might have been with the men and they went to another spot or went somewhere else, or she knew they went somewhere else and just didn't want to say anything. That's what is given to me.
I like the fact that she was trying to insinuate something more was to it.
Because
she was like, he had red lipstick on his shirt.
They say he had red lipstick on his lips.
I don't believe that. I believe that's some extra stuff.
Did you see the mugshot?
Ain't no red lipstick out here. People be lying.
You see the red?
No.
You don't see the red, then you colorblind.
I don't see it.
She talked to me first.
She didn't mention the lipstick at all.
No.
Maybe she was afraid to bring it up to you.
Why? You're my
Maybe
friend.
she didn't want the Baltimore Kimmy to come out.
But that's my thing. I will receive it better if you're my friend trying to give me honest.
Yeah, like you're concerned versus being messy.
Correct.
I get you.
That's my point. If you
Well, I think she did that the first time, and what she got from you was the brick wall. She got the brick wall. I think she was beginning to ask you when you didn't even want to specify what time he got arrested. You know, oh, it's a close, it's a case. Okay, well, I'm still gonna say what I want to say about it, but you let me know that you couldn't talk to me about it. But let's go ahead and keep going.
Invited me out for today. That's how I'm glad to be here. Like I was like, okay, Kimmy, okay.
I don't often get to do the inviting. So
You usually invited.
yes, I'm usually invited to come get the food.
Yeah.
But this is like on Everything I Love. I wanted us to link up without everybody else because I wanted to have a conversation in regards to some of the stuff that we've been talking about over the last few weeks. All of it, for the most part, is centered around Maurice and his arrest. My biggest issue in this, to be honest, was that I literally just had lunch the other day with Trisha and Tisha.
Okay.
And both of them shared information with me that you shared with them in regards to your sentiments about some of the arrests and some of the timing of it. And Trisha was like, she was drilling me like on questions and timing and da-da-da-da. And Maurice.
Because Trisha is an easy person to tell when she's lying. That's why. if you're not gonna tell me and Tisha not gonna tell me, every time I tried to find out what was going on, y'all didn't want to tell me. So I asked Trisha because I know she was there and she can't lie as good as y'all.
Had lipstick on. Teacher said you said same thing to her, and you showed her, y'all looked at a picture to see like, where's this lipstick? Where's the lipstick?
It's been all over the internet. Like, we've all seen it. And I asked the question.
I think the whole lipstick part was a bit out of pocket. The arrest itself is public information. It's whatever, it is what it is. However, that part, I didn't think that was friendly. And you actually talked to me face to face, and you never mentioned those things to me as far as being concerned about, I'm assuming the implication is where he was or where he could have been. And quite frankly, why would you even say that? Like, why would you think that?
That to me, this is a gaslighty ass moment, right? This is a gaslighty ass moment. I've literally had somebody ask me some shit like that. Like, why would you think that? I think that because my eyes are open. Like, my eyes are open, right? So in this situation, your husband got arrested at 12 o'clock in the afternoon with the same clothes he had on the night before. People are saying he might have had lipstick on his lips, which is a possibility. I'm not exactly sure. You said that you had to wake up and go looking for him and you could not find him. So that meant he slept out. So all of that right there, that's just based off of what we know from the DUI and what you've said. That's enough. Like, just that information I just gave y'all, that's enough to make me feel like Maurice is probably out here cheating, because you didn't know where he was. He did not come home. He got arrested in the middle of the day, which means he was out by somebody's house. It's Huntsville, Alabama. Nothing stays open after 2 in Huntsville, Alabama. So at the end of the day, if this nigga did not come home, he was at somebody's house. Or maybe he was down to you know, his business where they used to have them parties, allegedly. So for her to sit there and ask Mel, well, why are you saying this? It's like, so you want me to lay it all out on the table why I think that your husband is cheating so that you can then argue each point with me? Because that's all you're gonna do. And I can understand why she don't feel like having that conversation. That's the same thing that Maurice did. She tried to have the conversation. It was actually about Maurice. It's not about you, Kimmy. It's about Maurice. And I understand that's your husband, but we're in a group and we can have conversations with each other. So how I felt was about him. So I had the conversation with him. And the way he flipped it and wanted to argue about whether the DUI actually happened and whether a police officer was actually there and what information I actually have in order to have an opinion and being attacked, all of that shit. I think what she comes to understand is there's no point in having a straightforward conversation, because all you're going to do is argue with me about why I think the way I think when you're not going to change my mind about it. So what's the point? I'm going to let him finish, but that's what I believe. And I tell you all the time, I hate when Mel doesn't just say what it is. Like, bitch, just say what it is. Say what it is. But it's not her way. That's not how she do it. She likes to decide when she's going to withhold information. And for whatever reason, that's what she decides to do. She does this all the time with people. She did the same thing with Tisha. Tisha going to ask her, where's the proof? Bitch, you go find the proof. What I'm giving you proof for? You ain't give me no proof. And I remind everybody yet again, when everything happened with Martell, as it consistently happens, they always know what's going on. Yet when they talk to Mel, they act like they don't know what the fuck going on. I just want to remind y'all, everybody does this.
To be honest, you know how the way you just said, you know, you don't care for it. I don't really care to have that conversation with you, to be honest. I don't recall you asking me, can we wait till the facts come out? But I do recall you feeling like I'm not talking about it, you know, like, not talking about it. And I backed off, right? I'm like, okay.
And I didn't say why. I
don't remember exactly. I'm sure you probably, because it's an open case, I guess. So I'm assuming that's probably why, which makes sense. I don't disagree with you feeling that way, which is why I backed off.
So you're saying that you're not going to have a conversation with me about what I'm asking you in regards to what you said to Trisha and Tisha? Because I said I didn't.
Because they've already told you. Yeah, I mean, they've
already told you what I said. So it's one of those things where it's not really necessary for me to repeat what you already know I said since they've already told you.
But I'm asking you a direct question in regards to what you said about my husband.
And I'm telling you that whatever they said, I said that shit.
And I think it deserves an answer.
That's what she said.
But you already have my opinion because they already shared it with you. So, you know, I don't feel like it's a conversation necessarily for you and I to have because it was not about you directly.
The implication in conversations that you're making, going around talking to people in regards to the lipstick and his whereabouts, are what I'm trying to address now because it's in regards to my husband and it's coming from you. I think that's not cool. It far exceeds the fact that you rendered your opinion on an arrest. My issue.
So I can have an opinion on the arrest. I can't have an opinion on if he's cheating or not.
Is this. And to be fair, your kind of cavalier attitude about it, like I'm not going to talk about it, really doesn't help me feel like that it was unintentional.
So, and again, Maurice's cavalier attitude about the DUI. We're all having the same feelings.
I don't know. Do you have some kind of information, some kind of proof?
And that, do you have some type of information, some type of proof? So you want me to prove that your husband is cheating on you because I think he's cheating on you based on the information that I have, which is the same information that you have. Again, go ask your husband.
Kind of something that would lead you to believe that. What would make you say that?
I feel like you asked me like how dare I ask questions about something. I'm gonna ask questions.
Melody is a wordsmith. That's what I call Melody. And so
girl, not nearly as much of a wordsmith as your husband. You should be exhausted over
I believe she uses her conversation wisely to get to the place that she wants to be. And right now, not talking about what she said when she said it is weird to me because you can talk about it with Tisha and you can talk about it with Trisha. You can talk about it with Maurice. But when I bring to you how I feel about those conversations, now we're not going to talk about it. Yes, absolutely deflection. Do you feel like in your other friend groups that Maurice is out there cheating too?
Right. Yeah, that's not for me to answer. Go ask Maurice that, not me.
Girl, I feel like that's she literally taking words that people say on the show and using it like against them right now. Because no, Mel is absolutely being gaslighty in this moment. I'm not saying she's not. But what I'm saying is y'all have already done this shit to Mel. Mel is absolutely like, no, I'm not. And it's not even gaslighting. It's just I'm not going to have a conversation with you. I said that shit. I'm not saying I didn't say it. They like to act like the shit is not happening. Mel is not acting like it didn't happen. So I won't even say she's gaslighting. But she is being like, I guess, passive aggressive or stalling them out. Like I don't want to have the conversation. I said the shit. Yeah, I said it. But I don't want to have a conversation with you about it. Because like, what is that? What's the accomplishment? Like, what are we trying to accomplish with the conversation? You're going to try to dismantle everything I say so that you can prove that he didn't cheat, or you're going to try to get me to prove to you that he did cheat. And that's not really my place to prove to you that your husband is cheating. But yeah, my opinion is that he is. So it's not gaslighting. To me, when you are gaslighting, you're acting like the truth is not the truth, right? Mel isn't denying anything. Yeah, I think he cheated. Yeah, I'm talking to people about it. No, I don't want to talk about it with you. Like it's a very direct this is a very direct conversation of, I don't want to talk to you about it. Because what's the purpose? What is it going to accomplish, them having this conversation? But for you to check Mel? And again, let's not forget. And I think another reason why Kimmy was like sucking her teeth and shaking her face, shaking her head, not just because it's bullshit to her, but also because you've done the same thing. You did the same thing. Whenever somebody would come to y'all and ask y'all about what y'all heard or what y'all know, y'all would stall Mel out and act like y'all didn't know what the fuck was going on. Y'all never gave that girl a heads up. So as far as I'm concerned, this is just her giving them back all of the energy they've been giving her for seasons, and Kimmy knows that.
Stop with the dumb. I'm saying if you think it, say it. We don't have to pussyfoot around with it and play with it and, go to person. Say it. Talking about it as much as Melody has talked about it is indicative of giving. It's classic textbook giving.
Okay.
Usually when people make implications, they feel like they have some backing. So I'm asking a straightforward
question. Am I the only
question.
person who's implied?
It doesn't matter. I'm not talking to the only
Am I the
person.
only person who's implied?
Did you talking to Melody?
So can I ask you
I'm not
something?
talking to all those other people.
I know, and I'm saying I'm not going to answer or respond to that, but I would, if you haven't, challenge you to ask the people who have also made those implications. Ask them.
Because why are we having a conversation where you asking me why I think something and it's on the blogs and everybody's explaining why they feel that way? You know why I feel that way.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, I said I'm not answering that.
Yeah, I said I'm not answering that.
What I will say is, as women, we all have intuition. Baby girl, we all got it. So the fact that you're asking me that versus saying to me, I know he didn't have lipstick on his lips. I know he wasn't out cheating on me. That speaks volumes.
I just wanted to be extremely clear. My conversations are my conversations. I'm not going to be lumped in the group with a whole bunch of other people.
But you are lumped in a group. You are lumped in a group. You're in a group with the Scotts. And y'all protect each other. And y'all left Mel out there to kind of, y'all left her out there to dry when it came to the situation with Martell. And I think that she is just applying that same mindset to y'all. Yeah, I know, but I'm not going to tell you.
That they might have said about you or what they did or whatever. Kimmy is Kimmy. And so when we go back to who said what, we'll just, keep it classy and keep it just with Kimmy.
I heard you. Your feelings matter. This conversation mattered. And ain't nobody else gonna be able to tell you that Melody asked no question about no lipstick on no mugshot. That's all. You invited me out for.
Okay. So yeah, that was that on that. And I do understand, like everybody feel how they feel. Y'all feel like, I can agree with y'all on how Mel handling the situation, how y'all feel. I just don't care because I'm looking at it in a culmination. I'm not looking at just this one moment. I'm looking at all of the times that y'all didn't tell her what the fuck was going on. Y'all played in that lady face. You act like you don't know what's going on. You act like she tripping and it's the both of them and all of that shit. Y'all been gaslighting that lady for years. And now you want to ask me, well, where's the proof? I don't have to give you proof. I don't have to give you proof. I don't have to explain why I feel the way I feel to you. I don't have to do none of that. Just like you don't have to answer questions about your husband because you want to protect him. I don't have to answer questions about why I feel like he a cheater because I feel like you sound stupid. Why the fuck I got to explain to you why I think he's cheating? You tell me why he wasn't home last night with you. He wasn't home that night with you. Tell me. Because Love should have brought a nigga home last night and he wasn't at home. Like, to me, that's enough. The fuck? Oh, y'all feel like don't question my man, period. Girl, fuck your man. Anybody can ask him anything. Now what? Like, sorry. I'm sorry. But y'all, a lot of people have the mentality that people can't ask or people can't, y'all would rather people lie and fake in front with y'all. And then when they actually ask you straight up, ain't nobody gonna be, I can ask whatever I want to ask. I asked. You don't have to answer, but I can ask whatever I want to ask. I can say whatever I want to say. I can talk however the fuck I want to talk. And what you gonna do? You can't stop me from saying it. Even if you want to fight after, I still said it. Like, this is very much a I don't give a fuck era. So let's get into this dumbass shit.